Welcome back, Cyber Explorers. It's Alfie, and in this video we'll explore together with this step-by-step guide. Complete VirtualBox step-by-step guide. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Here's a step-by-step guide to download and install VirtualBox along with the extension pack. Make sure virtualization support is turned on in the BIOS or UEFI. Download VirtualBox and download the extension pack. Go to the VirtualBox download page. Choose the appropriate platform package for your operating system. Download the installer file. Download the extension pack file that matches your VirtualBox version. Install VirtualBox. Run the installer file you downloaded. Follow the on-screen instructions to complete the installation. Install the extension pack. Open VirtualBox. Click on the three lines icon and select Extensions. Click the Install button. Browse to the location where you downloaded the extension pack file and select it. Follow the prompts to install the extension pack. That's it. You should now have VirtualBox and the extension pack installed and ready to use. To adjust preferences in VirtualBox, which apply to the entire application rather than individual virtual machines, follow these steps. Launch the VirtualBox application on your computer. Click on File, then Preferences in the menu bar. You'll see several sections on the left-hand side. Here's what you can customize. General. Set the default virtual machine folder where VirtualBox will store your virtual machines. Input. Modify or add keyboard shortcuts to streamline your interactions with VirtualBox. Update. Configure whether VirtualBox should check for updates automatically, ensuring you're always up to date. Language. Choose the interface language to match your preference. Display. Adjust interface scaling and screen settings for better visibility and usability. Proxy. Configure proxy settings, if necessary, to connect VirtualBox to the internet through a proxy server. Interface. Customize the color theme of the VirtualBox interface to suit your visual preferences. Once you've made your adjustments, click OK to apply them. These settings impact how VirtualBox behaves globally on your host system, making it easy to tailor the experience to your needs. To adjust virtual network settings in VirtualBox using Network Manager, here's a detailed guide covering host-only, NAT, and cloud networks. Accessing the Network Manager, open VirtualBox. Navigate to File, then Tools, then Network Manager. In the Network Manager window, you can manage host-only networks, NAT networks, and cloud networks. Host-only network purpose creates a private network between the host and virtual machines, VMs. VMs can communicate with each other and the host but not with external networks. Use case. Ideal for testing environments where external network access is unnecessary. Setup. In the Network Manager, go to the Host-Only Networks tab. Click Create to add a new host-only network. Configure settings like IP range and DHCP server, if needed. Assign this network to your VM by going to the VM settings, then Network, and selecting Host-Only Adapter in the Attached to drop-down. NAT, Network Address Translation, Network, purpose, allows VMs to access external networks, like the Internet, using the host's IP address. VMs in the same NAT network can communicate with each other. Use case. Suitable for isolated environments, where VMs need Internet access, but shouldn't be directly exposed to the host network. Setup. In the Network Manager, go to the NAT Networks tab. Click Create to add a new NAT network. Configure settings like IP range and port forwarding, if needed. Assign this network to your VM by going to the VM settings, then Network and selecting NAT network in the Attached to drop-down. Cloud network purpose connects VMs to cloud services, such as Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, OCI, enabling seamless integration between local VMs and cloud environments. Use case. Ideal for hybrid setups, where VMs need to interact with cloud resources. Setup. Ensure the VirtualBox extension pack is installed to enable cloud features. In the Network Manager, go to the Cloud Networks tab. Click Create to add a new cloud network. Configure the cloud provider and network details, for example, OCI credentials, network ID. Assign this network to your VM by going to the VM settings, then Network, and selecting Cloud Network in the Attached to drop-down. Creating and configuring a virtual machine, VM, in VirtualBox allows you to run multiple operating systems on a single host machine. Here's a comprehensive step-by-step guide on how to create a virtual machine and understand each section in the VM settings. Launch the VirtualBox application. The VirtualBox Manager will serve as the interface to create and manage virtual machines. In VirtualBox Manager, click on the New button. Name and operating system. Name. Enter a name, for example, Ubuntu VM, for the VM. VirtualBox will often detect the OS based on the name. Folder. Choose a directory to save the VM files. ISO image. Select the ISO image of the operating system you want to install, or you can select it later. Type. Choose the operating system type, Windows, Linux, Mac OS, and version, for example, Ubuntu 64-bit. Hardware. Set the amount of RAM to allocate for the VM using the slider. Example, for lightweight Linux, allocate at least 2 GB, 2048 MB. For more demanding systems, allocate for 8 GB if available. Ensure your host system has enough memory left for its operation. Set the amount of processors to allocate for the VM using the slider. Check Enable EFI if you are installing a system that need a new EFI BIOS mode, or uncheck to use legacy BIOS mode. Hard disk. Select Create a virtual hard disk now. Then set a reasonable size, for example, 20 GB for Linux installations, and choose the hard disk file type, VDI, VirtualBox disk image, unless you need compatibility with other software like firmware. I prefer using VHD. Storage options, dynamically allocated, expands the disk size as needed, up to the maximum. Fixed size, pre-allocates the entire space, potentially improving performance. Lastly, click on Finish. Once the VM is created, right-click on it and select Settings for further customization. 1. General, Basics, allows you to rename the VM or change the operating system type, version if necessary. Advanced, configure shared clipboard and drag and drop between the VM and host machine. Recommended, enable bidirectional for both features for convenience. 2. System, motherboard, adjust base memory, RAM, if needed. Enable EFI for certain operating systems. Boot order, adjust priority for boot devices, for example, optical. Then hard disk. Enable TPM, secure boot if needed. Processor, set the number of CPU cores allocated to the VM. Enable PI, NX, useful for systems requiring physical address extension. Acceleration, enable VTX, AMDV and nested paging, if supported by your system for better performance. 3. Display, screen, allocate video memory, e.g., 64 MB for lightweight OS, 128 MB for modern GUIs. Enable 3D acceleration if the OS supports it. Remote display, configure this if you plan to access the VM remotely. 4. Storage, controller, attach virtual storage devices, for example, your hard disk or ISO file. Add your OS ISO file to the optical drive to install the system. 5. Audio, enable or disable audio for the VM and configure the audio driver based on your needs. 6. Network, VirtualBox provides several network options for the VM. NAT, Network Address Translation, default mode, that allows the VM to access the internet via the host machine's connection. VM shares the host IP address. Bridged adapter, connects the VM directly to your local network. VM gets its own IP address and behaves like a physical device on the network. Host-only adapter, creates a private network between the host and the VM. The VM cannot access the internet. Useful for testing scenarios like web servers without external access. 7. Serial ports, used for legacy applications or systems that require serial communication. Most modern users can leave this disabled unless required. 8. USB, enable USB support, USB 1.1, 2.0, or 3.0, to connect USB devices to the VM. Install the VirtualBox extension pack to use USB 2.0 over 3.0. 9. Shared folders, configure shared folders for easy file transfer between the host and VM. Add a folder path from your host machine. Choose whether it is read-only or fully bidirectional. Enable auto mount so the folder is accessible on every VM boot. 10. User interface. Adjust the visibility of interface elements like the menu bar, status bar, mini toolbar, and visual state based on your preference. Finally, select the VM and click Start to begin the installation process. Activating the VM. Click anywhere inside the VirtualBox window where the VM is running. This will capture your mouse and keyboard input inside the VM. If your mouse doesn't work initially, VirtualBox may require you to install guest additions for seamless integration. Entering full screen mode, press Ctrl+F to toggle full screen mode. This expands the VM window to fill your entire screen, making it feel like a native OS. To exit full screen mode, press Ctrl+F again or use the VirtualBox menu. Follow the OS installation wizard to set up the operating system. Install any additional drivers or tools, e.g., VirtualBox guest additions, to enhance performance and enable features like shared folders and clipboard sharing. VirtualBox provides a powerful, flexible environment for running virtual machines. By understanding the detailed settings, you can optimize the VM for your specific use case. Whether it's software testing, development, or learning a new operating system, installing VirtualBox guest additions in a Windows VM enhances performance and usability. Here's how you can do it. Start your VM, open VirtualBox and launch your Windows virtual machine. Insert Guest Additions CD. Click on the Devices menu and select Insert Guest Additions CD image. Open File Explorer. Navigate to this PC and locate the VirtualBox Guest Additions disk. Run the installer. Double-click VBox Windows Additions.exe to start the installation. Follow the prompts. Click Next a couple of times, then install. Reboot the VM. Select Reboot Now and click Finish. After restarting, your VM should have improved graphics, shared clipboard, and seamless mouse integration. Installing VirtualBox guest additions in a Linux VM enhances performance and usability. Follow these steps to install it. Start your VM, open VirtualBox and launch your Linux virtual machine. Copy the guest additions files to the VBox folder. Open a terminal. If the VBox folder doesn't exist in Documents, create it. Insert the guest additions CD image in VirtualBox by navigating to Devices, then insert Guest Additions CD image. Copy and paste the Guest Additions CD installation files into the VBox folder inside Documents. Change directory and set permissions. Navigate to the copied file location. Make the installation file executable. Run the installer. Run the installation script. Reboot the VM. Restart your virtual machine to complete the installation. After rebooting, your Linux VM should have improved integration with VirtualBox, including enhanced graphics, shared clipboard functionality, and folder sharing. There are two main methods to backup and restore a VM in VirtualBox: copy, paste VM files, export, import the VM. Each method has advantages and trade-offs, depending on your needs. Method 1. Copy-paste VM files. This method is straightforward and involves manually copying the VM's files. Backup. Copy. Locate the VM folder. Open VirtualBox and find the VM storage path. The default path is usually copy the entire VM folder, including VBox, configuration file, VD or VMDK, virtual disk file, snapshots and log files, if any. Store the copied folder in an external drive or another location. Restore. Paste. Copy the backed up VM folder to the same directory on the target machine. Open VirtualBox, select Machine, then Add, and browse to the VBox file to register the VM. Start the VM. It should work as before. Pros: fast and simple, preserves exact VM state, no conversion required. Cons: may break if restoring on a different VirtualBox version or system. Snapshots or linked files might be missing. Method 2. Export, import VM, OVIA format. VirtualBox provides an export appliance feature, which packages everything into a OVIA, open virtualization format, file. Backup, export, open VirtualBox, and go to File, then Export Appliance. Select the VM to export. Choose the export format, OVIA or OVF. Select a destination folder and click Export. Restore, import, open VirtualBox, and go to File, then Import Appliance. Select the OVIA or OVF file. Click Import and configure VM settings. Start the VM. Pros: more portable, works across different VirtualBox versions, self-contained and structured backup, easier to transfer VMs to another system. Cons: takes more time to export, import, may require reconfiguration after import. Which method is best? For local backups and quick restores, use copy, paste. For migrating VMs or structured backups, use export, import. VirtualBox offers an export appliance feature that allows you to package a virtual machine into an OVIA, open virtualization format, file. This makes transferring VMs between systems easier and more structured. Export a virtual machine in VirtualBox, open VirtualBox and go to File, then Export Appliance. Select the VM you want to export. Choose a format, OVIA, open virtualization format archive. Pick a destination folder and file a name. Click Export and wait for the process to complete. Tip: this method ensures the VM is self-contained and can be imported on another VirtualBox installation. Import a virtual machine in VirtualBox, open VirtualBox and go to File, then Import Appliance. Select the OVIA file you previously exported. Review and modify VM settings if needed. Click Import and wait for the VM to be created. Start the VM. It should run as expected. Difference between export, import versus copy, paste method. Export, import VM, OVIA. Copy, paste VM files. Portability, can be used across different systems. Works best on the same system. Completeness, includes all configurations in one file. Might miss snapshots or linked files. Ease of transfer, simplifies moving VMs to another machine. Requires manual file management. Speed, takes time to process. Faster for quick restores. Which method should you use? If transferring a VM to another system or backup, use export, import. If making a quick local backup, use copy-paste. And that's it for today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and don't forget to activate the notification bell so you won't miss out on any new uploads. Thank you for watching. Until next time, see you later.